So a bit ago, I decided to make some miniatures with a friend. I can design things, but I hate 3D, and he hates designing and loves to do 3D, so it worked out. So this is one of the first ones we worked on together, which is this goblin. After a lot of trial and error, he kind of figured out how to move a model around and rig it up so he can do these models. So I'm just going to go ahead and paint them today. I'm getting that gray primer on, showing them all off here. I didn't prime it perfectly. You can still see that it's a little translucent on the bottom there, but it works. I'm using this little fox bite kind of holder thing here, which I really like. I ended up losing one of these like while I was moving some stuff around in the house recently, and that made me very depressed, but I have a new one, and I'm laying on paint just a little bit too thick. But maybe it's like a happy little accents thing, because honestly, the thick paint kind of made the skin on this goblin look almost a little bulbous in a way where it kind of looks like he has warts, which I actually ended up liking in the end, but definitely wasn't my intent. I really enjoy these little paint holder things because, I don't know, just the hot swapping of all these magnetic pieces is very satisfying. And it really helped when I was trying to go through each of these. I paint them all green at the same time. And also just, it saves my hand from like holding on and cramping. That little bar is actually great. Moving on from there, painting the pants on each of these guys. If you're seeing that this is cut to where I'm mostly finished painting those pants, is because I just couldn't get the camera to focus, and I didn't realize for like half these shots that the camera was horribly unfocused. You're going to notice each of the colors on each of these goblins is going to be slightly different. That wasn't intentional, that was just me not mixing enough paint. And you can see here that I'm just not getting that focus right. Like, look at this, it's blurry as hell. Again, I didn't really have a plan for how I wanted to paint these. I don't think as much when I'm doing these miniature paintings. They're supposed to be very therapeutic to me. And, for the most part, they are. When you get real close up like this, you can really see how just messy my painting is. I'm just glopping that stuff on there. And again, camera focus, look at that. Going in and painting the shirt on this goblin, kind of this like white, almost cream color. I'm not sure if it's the color I really wanted to go for, but it's just ended up being the color that I ended up picking for it. It works. Also, fully right here, the rocket is now red here. I didn't record me actually painting it. I didn't realize for like 10 minutes while I was getting everything set up that I did not have the camera on at that point. My only problem with this model, and again, it's on my design. I designed a separate file for that backpack, was just all those bombs sticking out of it just are kind of inconvenient to paint. So you're gonna see I kind of just phoned it in on this part. Again, same thing with the backpack on this floor here. I'm just phoning it in. I ended up doing the same color that I did for the shirt, but I am going to darken those backpacks a little bit because honestly that is way too bright. I'm going to go around painting all the belts on these guys brown, along with the little satchel that I have on there. That's pretty much just straight burnt umber. I gave him a shoulder pad, didn't know what to do with it. I'm just going to paint it red just to kind of keep the red and green kind of popping against each other a little bit. I think that's an easy choice. Here's how they looked after just like the first initial bit of paint, and honestly those are coming along fine. The backpacks got a little darker as they sat. Alright, this is another day, and I'm just kind of going in and filling in spots where I see them. I'm going in with black here on the little comically sized bombs. One of my critiques for the modeler when he did this was, I need these bombs to be bigger. I want him to feel like he has a goofy sized bomb in his hands. And I think we kind of reached a good size for those. Same, just straight up black is going on the hair as well. I think initially I thought I wanted to do brown for the hair, but just kind of went against it. I wanted the headband to be brown now, just because I think I wanted to bring up some of those dark colors from the bottom upwards. I actually really enjoyed doing this part, which I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do, but it was kind of like coloring the small details of this goggle, and I just wanted it to be kind of black. It could have been a different color, but black worked good enough. You know, I thought when I was painting these that I was going to get tired of painting the same 3 models over and over again, but luckily I didn't really experience that. Despite me going and doing these kind of like smaller details on each of them, I didn't really feel like I was getting sick of it, which is good, because honestly I thought I was going to burn out after just even doing one, but I think swapping them out and doing the colors one by one made it easier. I'm not doing a great job at this, but I'm just trying to add color variety to the pants here. I'm just kind of dotting in a bit of that brighter color, and I think I'm just going to end up blending in a little bit. I might have skipped over it in that clip there. And then I'm kind of doing an opposite thing with the back there and darkening it. I'm giving these things kind of like fake shadows by going in with black and just highlighting them underneath. Maybe, you know, I could have spent more time blending a proper shadow color, but it gets the job done at such a small scale. I'm doing the same thing with the back here. But maybe in the future I'll consider just doing, you know, kind of a cooler color underneath, a cooler, more dull color, rather than just black. I'm really glad that I got to use this little tool to hold it. I like that it can spin, because the last time I had it, I only ever got to paint, I didn't even get to paint any miniatures before it got lost, which kind of sucked. It was sitting waiting until I could find it. I mean, maybe I have to spin stuff. That's sick. I'm going to do a poor job here, but I'm trying to get a little bit of a shine in these goggles. Just some kind of little beady white in there, so it feels more like just a black blob. And then on top of this little red shoulder piece, I wanted it to have some color variety, so on the very tips of those little spikes that I have on it, I'm just adding yellow to it, and I think it adds something. On the cheeks here, I'm just adding in a little bit of cat yellow. Some of them, again, I'm kind of piling on a little bit, which is adding in to this kind of almost looks like he has a skin problem on that cheek there, but it adds a little bit to it. On the bases, I'm really keeping it simple. This is just Venetian red and a little bit of burnt umber to give it kind of a brick-ish look. I'm not paying too much attention to it. The bases, I will admit, were just kind of stand-ins while we figured it out. I do want to do a little bit more, bases with a little bit more sauce for our future projects. Well, here they are in the end. They look pretty good under the right lighting. They're a little bit, shinier because of the oil paint. And, obviously there's some details I could have done in the design phase to make this better, but I'm pretty happy with it. These models will be available to go ahead and, buy and print yourself, or, buy printed models soon.